Hey, this is John from StubGroup, filling you in on an update that Google is making that specifically impacts e-commerce advertisers. So in August 2025, Google sent out emails to pretty much all advertisers, letting them know about a change they're making to what they call the Content API for shopping, which is now called the Merchant API. So if you don't know what an API is, don't worry too much. It's a technical thing, but basically think of it as a connector between your product data in whatever e-commerce platform you are using and Google Merchant Center, which is where your product data needs to come so that you can run shopping campaigns and also take advantage of Google's free listings program. So basically, the current API that Google has for this is called the Content API for Shopping. And they are making a bunch of changes to how this API works, making a lot of improvements in theory to how it works. And as part of that, if you're using this current content shopping for API, you're going to need to change to using this new merchant API. Now, in terms of timeline, Google is giving you until August 18th of 2026 to make this change. So about a year after they sent out the announcement in August of 2025. What most people will do is they'll say, oh, that's going to be a while in the future. They'll forget about this. They'll get to August of 2026, and then they'll realize they've got an issue. Now, the important thing to know is that if you're working with one of the bigger e-commerce platforms like Shopify or WooCommerce or so forth, most likely they're going to just be automatically taking care of this update on their end, and you're probably not going to need to make changes. For example, I reached out to Shopify, and they confirmed that they are taking care of the transition themselves and that you're not going to need to make changes. So if you're using one of those platforms, you probably don't have to worry about this too much, although it would make sense for you to go ahead and reach out to your platform and ask them about this and make sure that they are preparing for this change. If you are in not one of those situations and you are kind of using your own custom API, maybe your own development team has built something, then you are going to need to make changes. And Google has sent out specific documentation about what you need to change, and there's lots of that documentation online. So definitely get started sooner rather than later if you're in this situation where you need to go and make these changes yourself, because you want to take advantage, of the new features that Google is giving, and you don't want to get into a situation where you have roadblocks and then you reach, summer of 2026, and you are not able to send information to Google in the way that Google needs to see that information. And if you have any questions about this or about e-commerce advertising in general, please reach out through StubGroup.com. We manage Google advertising for many, many different e-commerce businesses, and we would love to talk to you about managing yours.